Flirting is a real skill that 99.1% of people don't have. They're either too scared or too inexperienced. But luckily for you, by finishing this video, you're already ahead of the competition. The main goal when you're with a girl is to drop her anxiety. When she's comfortable around you, only then does the game begin. If she thinks you're creepy, then there's no point in flirting with her, since that'll only turn her off. And if you really want to learn how to flirt with women without getting rejected, then keep watching this video until the end. And I can't guarantee if you'll agree with my second point, because it involves a little bit of manipulation and mind control. So what I'm about to tell you can be controversial, so use it at your own risk. Chapter 1. The Magnet Open Technique. Let me now explain you about the magnet open approach. This is one method of flirting that employs the science of mind control. I despise feel-good dating advice that doesn't work. Instead, it is preferable to go with what has been scientifically proven to work, and that is mind control. And to be clear, this isn't the type of mind control you see in anime or cartoons. Instead, it is used by doctors to treat depression, phobias, and trauma. It's also what investigators utilize to break open cases. It's also what entertainment businesses have used for years to keep people interested. And this magnet open approach is just one of hundreds of patented flirting tactics. So how does the magnet open tactic actually work? It works at the start of a relationship with a woman, at the first hello. Now comes the tricky part of your first interaction. Most men initiate encounters with women either directly or by saying, "Hi, what's your name?" Other guys initiate encounters with women indirectly, such as, "Hi, can you help me? I'm a little lost." Now these methods are okay and might work in rare cases, but unfortunately they both have the same basic disadvantage. They put women on the defensive. When you approach a woman, whether directly or indirectly, she will be on the back foot subconsciously. Who's this guy and what does he want from me? She'll think, no matter how nice or attractive you are. As a result, if you employ one of these two ways, you will have an extremely low success rate with women. That is exactly why you should instead utilize the magnet open strategy. This method makes women curious about you rather than defensive. First, you approach a woman and catch her attention. Second, you await her response. And lastly, you ask her a question or make an observational comment. Let's look at an example. Assume you're in line at a coffee shop and the woman in front of you is attractive and approachable. So you employ the magnet open method on her. You tap her on the shoulder and say, "Excuse me, sorry to bother you, but..." Then you wait for her response. Yes? After that, you ask her a question or make a remark. What do you recommend here? Do you get it now? The key lies in the second step. When you allow her to respond, she naturally feels a sense of curiosity about you. She will not be offended, and she'll keep this fascination with her throughout the conversation. In other words, you attract her like a magnet rather than repelling her like a creep. For one reason, it will help you flirt with girls more effectively, and it gets the relationship off to a good start, with her pursuing you rather than the other way around. That brings us to the second issue. Conversation is not sufficient for flirting if you just talk to her but don't touch her. Yeah, now that's a bad thing. She'll see you as an all-talk, no-action kind of guy. So she loses the curiosity and attraction she had for you, and she puts you in her friend zone. So your second challenge is to know when and how to touch her. And you must not touch her in a forceful or aggressive manner, as this will turn her off even more. So you must touch her in the proper manner, in the proper place. Chapter 2. The proper way to touch a woman is with a technique known as the water technique. It's a method of touching her that gets her on, so much so that she'll want you to touch her even more. It's that strong. This tactic comes from the way water moves in waves. Water flows in one direction, encounters resistance, and then reverses naturally. The process then continues until the resistance is overcome. You've witnessed how water has formed canyons, rock cliffs, rivers, and waterfalls over time. Nothing can halt the flow of water. Similarly, nothing can stop you from making women head over heels for you. That is, as long as you have water's technique and persistence. Just like the great Bruce Lee used to say.
Be water, my friend.
So 2 steps ahead, 1 step back, 2 steps forward is how it works. And you keep going till she says she wants to kiss you. Let us return to our previous scenario. Assume the woman at the coffee shop liked you as well and agreed to meet for dinner. You welcome her at dinner with a handshake, a one-armed embrace, a cheek kiss, or a high five. That is your first contact. Then you go 1 step bolder. Later, you might hold her on the small of her back or loop arms together as you enter the restaurant. Later on, when you take her to a club for drinks and a party, you can start holding her closer. You can even start grinding on the dance floor or necking her at the bar. You keep getting bolder 1 step at a time until, of course, she resists your touch and backs away. And when that happens, you take 1 step back. You stop touching her completely and stop treating her like anyone special. You know, like you were just buddies hanging out. And then, after she's warmed up again, try moving 1 step bolder 1 more time. Do you now see where the phrase water comes from? The secret of the water technique is in the part where you stop touching her completely. That's because it psychologically knocks her off balance. She'll wonder what happened, and she'll start missing your touch. And so, the next time you try touching her, she'll gladly let you. You then use the water technique all the way until she's ready and willing to kiss you. Where you take her from there is up to you. Using these techniques will make your dating life with women so much easier and better. But you need the balls to do so. Mind control is pretty awesome, isn't it? Well, it gets even better. The techniques I showed you are actually just variations. And if you want to learn more on these topics, then click the video on the right.